All right, we are back talking ever so briefly, and when I say briefly, I don't know how long this is going to go. We're talking about the Strange New Worlds Season 2 trailer, which was like just north of 2 minutes. You guys think we can get this this podcast over 20 minutes talking about a 2-minute trailer?
I bet we can.
I think we can do it.
No, our track record says yes.
Normally, like, a trailer is, clearly it's advertising, and normally I wouldn't really put too much stock in it, but there were a couple things that stood out to me in this trailer, which is, I think, why I messaged you guys, like, hey, take a look at this and tell me what you think. Did anything like in this stand out to you, or are you just pretty standard?
I have several notes.
Yeah, I took several notes too. I'm just this seemed like a little bit more than just a, at least at what we know from season 1. This seemed like more than just like a little teaser trailer. Yeah, I'll dive in real quick because we're in a hurry. I noted that it starts out and Una is doing the voiceover. So like immediately you realize, so just to refresh, that season 1 ends with Una basically being taken to Starfleet jail, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like going to lock her up and throw away the key because she, lied to them. It was a pretty big offense, I would say. This wasn't like a misdemeanor.
She's a big no, and we're gonna lock her in a hole for that. Like that whole thing makes no sense, but
right. So like immediately, like you hear Una's voice. So I'm curious, like how quickly they're gonna bring her back. Like, is it gonna be like 15 minutes into season 1? She just gets a pardon, or into that first episode, and like she gets a pardon and she just
I got to
sits
imagine
down
it's going to be in the first episode. Yeah, I mean, not only do they have her do the little voiceover, that would be, that's one thing. They could have had her do that. Obviously she's coming back. We're not going to just eliminate that character. We all know she's coming back. It's just a question of how and when. Sure. So there's no spoiler there. We know that.
Why is that obvious that they would? Why is that obvious they wouldn't eliminate her character?
She's like the second named cast member. She's one of the most.
She's in the original series, so we know she doesn't die.
She's in the original series?
Yes, she has a small role.
Yeah.
She's not a huge character in it, but
Rebecca Romaine is arguably the biggest name on the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
at least I would say she probably was when the show started.
Rebecca Romaine didn't sign a deal for, 10 episodes and I'm done.
Yeah. So. But I do think it's interesting. I was thinking about it because this is sort of like they're burying the lead here where Una's clearly not in jail. She's in several scenes in this trailer.
Right. Well, I was going to say, so we know she's coming back, but we don't know how quickly she is. We don't know the circumstances, but this makes it seem like you're right, that she's back immediately.
In fact, there's nothing in the trailer that even indicates the characters like missed her. Like almost like
no. And then we've got multiple shots in the trailer of her in uniform on the Enterprise. So yeah,
and the other thing I noted too, because we talked at the end of the last season, was that what are they going to do for season 2? Because Una's going to be gone, and La'an is off investigating that kid's parents. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe they were going to do an episode or 2 or 3 of Ship having some holes in the roster, and they're trying to.
I mean, they were breaking up the band, and now everybody's suddenly back. So,
so like immediately you see like Una and La'an like right back up to their old antics which is interesting. It kind of made me think of like when they did the Terminator 2 trailer, where like the studio kind of did Cameron dirty because like they in the trailer they reveal that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good guy, not the bad guy, but that was not the way he cut that movie. Like Schwarzenegger isn't revealed to be a good guy until 37 minutes into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like, clearly it worked for Terminator 2, but it was the same sort of thing I was thinking here. Like, man, they are really they're just papering over these characters that honestly, I was kind of looking forward to that. Like, that's going to be kind of a cool plot element. Like, hey, the number 1 is in jail and they got to work this out. But clearly, I don't know, maybe it's not going to be as big a plot point as I thought.
Yeah. Just on a nitpicky detail, we like every trailer that comes out now seems to be on the take a popular but old pop song, drop it a few keys and slow it down a little bit trend.
Oh, I didn't even notice. What was the song?
So we've got Such Great Heights from the Postal Service
Postal
on
Service,
this one, which really, really didn't work at all.
What?
It just,
I fucking loved it. I actually, that's like the only thing I liked from this trailer was that song. I thought it was amazing. It's appropriate for Star Trek. Like,
it was way too gimmicky for me.
I love that song so much, and I thought it was cool. So
I didn't even realize what the song was, but I did make a note that the music in this is very upbeat and hopeful. And maybe I've been kind of on a Star Trek binge. I just watched Picard season 3. I've been watching some more Discovery, and like they're so dark and they're like depressing. Like I decided to go back and watch some Discovery after we watched Strange New Worlds. And like, I'm not even kidding. Like season 3, episode 1, like 10 minutes in, I was just kind of like, ugh, this feels like a slog. Just because like it's so down. I mean, it's just like getting kicked in the nuts. Like just the theme is so dark. I mean, so was sort of Picard season 3 was the same way. So that was one of the things that I noted in this was like the music is upbeat and hopeful, and a lot of like the scenes that they show are like the characters kind of having fun. And, you know, like a lot of the scenes were like them exploring strange new worlds. Like they're out going on adventures, right? It's not, you know, the ship is blown up and they're, you know, 4 seconds away from dying and they have to come up with some, you know, Deus Ex Machina. And I was kind of like stoked. I was like, this is what I want to see, right? I'm kind of tired of the really dark and gritty stuff. So that was one of the things I noted was that at least the music kind of gave it like a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
More so than I've seen in some of the other recent Star Trek stuff.
Like, I don't think that's like a super mainstream popular song. I mean, it was a pretty big song back in the early aughts, I guess, but like I found it to be a pretty
well. That's the trick with that,
nice.
that whole thing is you never take like it's never a top 40 song. It's
Sure.
always one that was kind of like a niche song or something, so that like most people don't quite recognize it, or maybe they do, but they're not quite sure what it is. And anyway, whatever.
I mean, Stranger Things did that with that Kate Bush song, right?
Yeah. I'm just being a grumpy old man. Whatever.
Yeah, you're full on grumpy old man.
I thought that was like such an awesome trailer song that I had never considered as a trailer song in the past, you know, obviously, but I guess that makes sense that they kind of rehash like that kind of song for trailer.
Did you not like the song, or did you not like the cliche?
I love that.
Like
I love
dropping...
that song. It's a great song. I love that. The whole album's amazing.
You just didn't like it.
That's a real hot take for someone our age too, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else. What else did I note? I noted there's a scene in the trailer. We see Erica doing some fancy flying. You know, she's like shooting lasers and punching through kind of this asteroid field.
She's having a great time.
Yeah, I think doesn't Pike say, "Are you ready to do some fancy flying or something?" And she gets this huge grin on her face. So they're kind of playing that up again. Which again, I think it's cool just to see the characters like having a little bit of fun.
Good time. I'm great. Yeah, I'm all here for that.
We see more Kirk, unfortunately. I think.
Yeah, so we had in our little end of the season episode, I talked extensively about how I did not want to see more James T. Kirk, and clearly we're going to. The only hope I have is that they only show him really with Luan, and so I'm hoping it's kind of like an isolated event, and he's there for one episode, hopefully.
Sure.
But he's prominently featured in this trailer as
a
marketing thing, I guess.
He is. But the other thing that concerns me is in the last scene of the trailer. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but it's Kirk and Luan in the last scene of the trailer, and he is like stuck in they're in like a department store somewhere.
It looks like a modern day, like a 2023
right. So it makes me think we're going to have some kind of time travel episode too. With Kirk, which, okay.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was not super excited to see Kirk. I mean, like, clearly they're going to bring him back because he puts butts in seats, right? I'm with you. I just hope they don't overuse him. I mean, I think you said it really good. You're like, I don't want to see Kirk. I want to see Strange New Worlds. I want to see him going out exploring and doing adventures. Like, I don't care about Kirk. You know what I mean?
I think I'm slightly different. I don't mind if they bring back Kirk. Like, I didn't mind. Well, I did mind originally with Spock. Like, I wasn't initially sold with Spock, but I bought into it, and I really appreciated his character over time. With this actor playing Kirk, I'm okay if they like bring Kirk in and like I guess I'm like open to that idea. I just don't like anything that I've seen so far with Kirk. Yeah.
I just don't want to see them overuse him, right? I mean, you've got a ton of other characters. Pike is clearly an amazing, character. I want to see a lot more Pike than I do Kirk, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could be singing a totally different tune after the end of season 2, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Kirk was so amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else did I know? I noted that this trailer, I mean, I'm sure they picked the really flashy parts of the season, but this trailer was extremely effects heavy. Did you guys notice that? Like, they had some serious effects budget for this season.
It's a 2-minute trailer. I'm guessing we saw a significant portion.
Yeah, we probably saw 90% of the effects, right? But
yeah.
I mean, what I did see was cool looking. I mean, it was definitely, it was pleasing to the eye. So
yeah,
it was interesting to see so many effects, I should say.
A couple other things that concern me. We had that basically rip off of Aliens episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
In the last season where Hemmer died.
Too soon, Ben. Too soon.
I know. Hey, it was too soon. And in the trailer, we have a still that is taken straight from Alien 3.
Yep.
I mean, it's...
What was it? Maybe I missed it.
They just lifted this shot straight out of Alien 3. It's a a close-up shot of I can't tell who it is. It looks like it's probably Luan and one of the Gorn, like with like salivating with slimy stuff and right in her face. It's just the alien getting in Ripley's face from Alien 3.
Oh, interesting.
It's
yeah, okay.
100% they just lifted that shot. So that's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, seriously, because they did an entire episode that was basically
do your own thing.
We did see a quick shot of Carol Kane, who's going to be playing Chief Engineer Pelia. Because
so they have confirmed who she's actually playing.
Yeah, it's confirmed. So she's going to be replacing Hemmer. It's really weird to see Carol Kane. The only time I see Carol Kane, and I just picture her character in Princess Bride, and she's like that old witch lady, and she yells at Billy Crystal. So I don't know if I've seen her in much else, but
she always kind of plays a really wacky character. So it'll be interesting if it's got to be more straight. I mean,
have we had a female chief engineer yet?
Nuts. Yeah, B'Elanna Torres.
So we definitely get a new character there. I mean, I think we kind of talked. I mean, we were almost expecting to get a new number 1 or a new security chief if Luan was going to be gone for a while. But I guess not.
Yeah.
That was the only new character that I noticed. Did you guys see anybody else?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. And the last thing that I noted was that at one point Spock is sitting in the captain's chair, and I think it's Ortegas says everyone in the chair has their thing. And she's trying to get Spock to say engage or make it so or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
And Spock says, I would like the ship to go now. Like, it's super awkward.
But he says it with such enthusiasm. Like, he knows, like, he thinks he's saying this. I found my cool catchphrase, and he's laying it out there because I'm Spock and I'm cool. I don't buy that for a second. That was so stupid.
We'll have to see it in context.
Spock isn't like completely disconnected from human culture. Like he's around humans all the time. He doesn't quite understand like how they work, and like emotions are confusing to him and all of that. He doesn't always get humor and all that. But he's not a moron. He's not. He's not. He has some social graces. He's not just gonna go like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be cool."
Yeah.
It was like, I thought that in season 1 they did a really good job of capturing the essence of the Spock character, and that like if that's actually in the show, that's gonna undo a lot of that for me. That moment is just so cringy.
I completely agree, and I guess we're nitpicking a freaking trailer. We don't know the context or whatever, but like,
I'm hoping, given context, it makes a little more
it
sense.
is
Like
so
he's got
stupid.
some.
Specifically, he says, "I would like the ship to go," and then pauses like 2 seconds,
Because it doesn't move, right?
and then now he says
Yeah.
now. Like, does that seem like an effective, logical way to say I want it to go at this specific point? I want it to go.
Yeah, and he's grinning
Pause,
like
and
he
then
just
now.
said something
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
They did something like this. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was, but there was in one of the episodes in the first season. There was one, I don't remember what the context was, but Spock had to like go out in a shuttlecraft and do some flying, and Pike had made some comment. He'd used an idiom or something at the beginning of the episode, and then Spock repeated it at the end of the. It was this callback to, but it made no sense. It was just.
Yeah.
It was like, why would he say that? He doesn't. Okay, I guess Spock just like repeats whatever human thing he hears, because I don't know. It's young Spock. Maybe he hasn't figured out how not to be an idiot yet. But
I can see that to a degree, though. I mean, like, not to pick on my kids, but I have kids, and when they're young and they don't understand social graces, a lot of times they'll imitate their parents and say and do things that they don't understand. So that's sort of what I feel like he's doing. Like,
okay,
he's trying to fit in with the cool kids, but he clearly isn't in that. He's just parroting what he hears because he doesn't know any better. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see where they take him with season
Okay.
2. So,
but okay, we're analyzing this stupid thing, but like,
I know this trailer that's like 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. So the only other thing I wanted to note about
that's
that
all we got right now, man.
About that scene where she says everyone in the chair, has their thing, and Spock does his thing. I think this is interesting because have either one of you guys watched Picard season 3 yet?
No.
It ends. I won't ruin it for you, but it ends with a captain sitting in the chair, and they do that exact same thing where there's a new captain sitting in the chair, and they ask the captain, "You need to say something to It's the exact same. I don't want to say joke, but it's the exact same thing where they're trying to get this captain to kick off this adventure." So, I mean, clearly these shows they're in the same universe, but they're totally unrelated, totally different writers, but two different people came up with that, whatever, we're 14 Star Trek shows in, and they realize that the captains each have their catchphrase, and it's sort of become an in-joke in the universe. So much so that, two different shows have picked up on it now. So I thought it was interesting that sort of close together that two different shows came up with the same idea. So we'll see.
I assume. Well, I don't know. This is a very special episode. Are we sticking to our general PG rating on this one, or?
I don't know. Nugent already dropped the S word, so you can do whatever you want.
Did he? Okay, sweet. We also made time in the trailer for a nice shot of Spock and Chapel eye fucking each other again. So.
Yep, this is true.
Got to have that.
That was. I mean, okay, we could probably save it for season 2.
Also, wasn't there a moment between Una and La'an where she's like, "You have a hot."
Yeah, they were
energy.
in the transporter room, and she's like, "Yeah, like you've got a vibe going on." Because yes, right.
I got the impression there that was like right after like Kirk had beamed on board.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
I think she was giving her crap for having the hots for Kirk.
Oh, okay. I took that differently.
Interesting. Yeah. So
whatever.
What else?
Okay, let me be on the record on that moment, that cringe moment of Spock in the chair saying his catchphrase or whatever, or wanting to have one. I find that cute and awkward and funny, whatever. But the problem is that he would be logical in his decision making for that to an extent to say, okay, this is a definitive go moment. But he says, I want the ship to go, and then like pauses for way too long and then says now. This seems like it wouldn't be a logical decision to make.
Wouldn't a more logical thing to be, something like extremely technical, like turn on the nacelles and engage the warp drive or something, right? I mean,
or
like
just
something
3, 2, 1, go, and then
right,
whatever. That's the problem. So I'm okay with like the cringe humor. I'm okay with the awkwardness, but it did seem, I guess, like what you were saying, Ben. It's a little beneath him as a character. It seems.
I just feel like
We'll
the
see.
character has more dignity than that. I don't want to see Spock be comic relief.
We're going to spend like half of this podcast talking about this, and then they're going to cut it in the season. And
I know it's not even going to be there.
They're going to realize there's going to be so much fan uproar on the internet. Like, oh, that was so dumb. We got to cut that.
Yeah. We apparently are still doing fist bumps in the 23rd century.
Oh, yeah?
Chapel and Mbenga have a little fist bump in the trailer.
Was there a scene? It would cut really quick. Was there a scene where Mbenga was holding Chapel like she was injured?
Yeah,
they were really close.
I think it was kind of the other way around, but yeah.
Was it? Okay.
We had some Klingons show up.
That's true. We did see some Klingons.
That was cool.
Have we seen Klingons? Did we see Klingons in season 1?
I don't think
we saw a lot of Vulcans and a handful of Romulans.
I don't think we saw any Klingons.
They talked about Klingons, but I don't think we actually saw any.
I don't think so either. Also, the Klingons look like Klingons, so we're not doing the whole they used
Discovery
to look
alternate universe Klingons, right?
Well, or they used to look human, and then they changed their like Next Generation and DS9 kind of tried to wave it away with some kind of I can't even remember what they made some comment at some point about how the Klingons changed their appearance at some point, and then they changed it back.
Right.
Oof.
Anyway, we're not doing any silliness with that. We're just getting Klingons. I'm fine with that. I mean, it looks there's looks like there's a lot of action. Looks like the characters are having some fun. I mean, it should be.
Did it make you want to watch this season? I mean, like, were you excited after seeing it?
I mean, it's got some. I mean, I like these characters. I want to see more of them. So,
I felt like you said, it had some good action, but it also showed the character. It seemed lighthearted.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like Picard season 3 basically starts out with, the ship they're on getting their asses kicked. And then a big scary new bad guy shows up and is going to literally blow up the entire Federation. Right. And
right. Yeah.
Discovery is doing, super dark things. And then like, here they are here. It looks like they're just, playing in space, which was a little bit exciting to me.
That's fine with me. I mean, I don't want them to take it too far. So like I said, don't make Spock your comic relief. But yeah, I want them to be lighthearted and mostly having a good time. I don't want this series to be super heavy.
One of the things that I just noted, because I've been watching those other shows, is, and we could talk, I want to talk about it in season 2 if when we get there, is the use of profanity in, specifically in Picard and Discovery. But like in Picard, like there's a point where Picard drops the F-bomb and like
what?
Yeah. It's really, I messaged a couple people, like, I hate to be that guy and be all curmudgeonly, but like,
I'm not offended. It just seems out of place.
It feels super out of character. Well, I mean, like, number one, it's maybe sort of okay because they're in a really, they're in a non-official capacity and they're in a really bad situation. So maybe I would get a pass, but I also feel like Picard is an admiral. He's been an admiral his whole life. Like, he understands chain of command. It doesn't jive with the character on it, and it makes it feel.
I was going to say
dirtier.
He's such a prim and proper guy that it seems out of place for that character. Yeah,
I literally watched an episode of
Riker having some colorful language, but Picard doesn't seem like he'd do that.
I watched an episode of Discovery tonight, and one of the characters says, "Oh, this is bullshit," and I was just like, I mean, I get it. It doesn't feel necessary in this type of show.
Every time Discovery did that, it pulled me out.
Yeah. Was there any language at all in Strange New Worlds season 1? Do you remember?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember it being a thing.
Yeah. And again, I don't care. I mean, I watch shows with, the F words every other. I mean, I watch
right.
It was fine. But and I already said it tonight. I mean, I swear all the time, but it just, for some reason, there's with Star Trek, it just doesn't fit. Yeah,
it's like hearing Tom Hanks drop the F word. It just doesn't. Sometimes some situations it just doesn't work. It feels, to me, it feels forced. Like, we want this to be dark and gritty and scary. So what's going to take the audience out of their comfort zone the most? Let's have Picard go, fuck you, or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. When it happened in Discovery, like as it was happening, I was like, okay, at 100%, the studio Paramount told the writer to do that.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the, the writer didn't write the script and turn it in, and that happened to be there. And they're like, great, well, let's go, okay, fine, we'll give you permission to do that. They specifically told him put a swear in here somewhere so people know this is a new Star Trek.
Yeah.
This ain't your dad's
This ain't
Star
your
Trek.
dad's Star
Right.
Trek, man. Picard's gonna swear.
Kirk would never. Well, actually, Kirk would swear, but
Yeah.
all right.
I mean,
Well,
maybe
we-
we'll have what's next? Picard, going down and needing the holodeck hosed out when he's done.
Yeah.
That's
well,
Riker's territory, man.
right. Well, we broke 20 minutes, boys. We did
We
it.
did it. I knew we could.
Okay.
We
Easy.
talked for
Yeah.
we talked for over 20 minutes about a trailer that is under 2 minutes.
Nice. Excellent. Do you have anything else, Jason?
Song good. Rest
Song
of
good.
trailer kind
Okay.
of met. Like you said, that all these like characters that were supposedly supposed to be gone, they're just like magically there, and it's like kind of the same old crew. So it honestly, everything in the trailer made me kind of uninterested. But the song choice
Really?
to me seemed like such a brilliant, like good taste thing it actually made the trailer really good for me.
So you weren't on board until you heard the music?
I just don't think any of the content in the trailer is that interesting to me. It's
Okay.
fine.
I
Like
don't know,
I'm excited to get back into the series, but there was nothing in the trailer that was like, oh, what is going on there? Like
I don't know. It's just such a cliched thing to do for a trailer. And I say this as someone like, Enterprise got all kinds of crap for having, a song with lyrics as their song. I liked it. Star Trek Beyond got tons of crap for having the Beastie Boys song in it. I liked that scene. I don't have a problem with them having a song. It's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, this just seemed really cheesy to me.
I really got to go watch it and pay attention to the music some more. All I noted was that the music was upbeat. So, all right. Well, that's all. So, what do we know? That I think it comes back June 24th. Is that what I saw? So it's basically next month sometime.
June 15th, I think.
June 15th. Oh, so it's just a little bit over a month. All right, we're in good shape.
Well, we'll be.
Well, I'm excited.
This will be interesting to record them as
they come
none
out.
None of us have seen the episode before we see.
This will all be new.
We'll all be watching it for the first time as we record this season. That'll be interesting.
Sounds like a plan.
I think because you guys had both seen it before.
I don't know if Jason did. I had.
Time, right?
No, I was watching it fresh when we were doing.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, it'll just be you then, Scott.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll be back whenever it starts in a month or so.
Cool.
Adios.